Hello friends, welcome to Vedics.in, and this is the video of Indian Independence Day, which was celebrated in the USA. It was organized by the Indian Consulate of Seattle, and all Indians showcased the 28 states and 8 union territories. We got to see so many colorful attires, and it was amazing to see Bill Gates as the chief guest. India is a country of diverse cultures, and Indian culture, often labeled as a combination of several cultures, has been influenced by a history that is several millennia old, beginning with the Indus Valley Civilization and other early cultural areas. India is a country which has several weather conditions. The weather in India varies dramatically. While the southern tip of India is being lashed by tropical monsoon rain, the north will be blanketed in thick snow. Therefore, the best time to travel to India depends greatly on the destinations to be visited and the climate experience there. India is a miraculous country and rich in everything, either culture, knowledge, spirituality, etc. What do we say can be less? India's remarkable contributions to global innovation, spanning from safe vaccine manufacturing to the development of digital public infrastructure, DPI, were celebrated by Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates as he inaugurated the first India Day celebrations in the Seattle area. Speaking as the guest of honor at the event, which was organized by the Consulate General of India in Seattle, Gates highlighted how India's ingenuity is benefiting not only its own citizens, but the entire world. Addressing over 2,000 members of the Indian American community during the 78th Indian Independence Day celebrations, Gates praised India for its leadership in technology, agriculture, and healthcare. He noted that India's efforts in producing safe, low-cost vaccines, coupled with the innovative leadership of its diaspora, have had a far-reaching impact. Moreover, Gates underscored how India's advancements in digital public infrastructure are serving as a model for countries across the global south, who are now drawing on India's experience to build their own systems. It is the only India country in the world where every color of nature can be seen. Here there is a sea on one side and the icy Himalayas on the other. On one side there is a desert, and on the other side there is a dense forest. On one side there are high mountains, and on the other side there are plains. No other country has such colors of nature. Indian weather is better than all the countries of the world. There are mainly 4 seasons here. Foreigners come here and get mesmerized by the atmosphere of the India. Since ancient times, Indians have been going to the Himalayas to do sadhana or meditation. People living in the Himalayan valleys never suffer from diseases like asthma, tuberculosis, arthritis, leprosy, skin diseases, rheumatism, orthopedic diseases, and eye diseases. But in the last few years, Indian people have played a significant role in destroying the land of India. We have almost destroyed our amazing and important mountains, forests, deserts, river, and other water sources. The Himalayan glaciers are melting. The atrocities that we have committed with this India land by exploiting the natural resources to the fullest will be paid for sometime. Since ancient times, Greeks, Romans, and Arabs have been coming to India in search of knowledge, philosophy, Ayurveda, and spirituality. These people, immersed in the rich language and culture here, have been spreading this knowledge even in their own country. In India, the Hindu Kush range was the meeting place of 2 cultures. There used to be many universities, gurukuls, and ashrams here in ancient times. India's fame about spirituality, miracles, and accomplishments spread far and wide. India has a suitable environment for learning meditation, yoga, and spirituality as compared to other countries. For this search of spirituality, thousands of foreigners come here and are mesmerized by the atmosphere of the India. The Vedas, Upanishads, and Gita are completely spiritual books which show man the path of true knowledge. Only those who have read and understood them seriously can understand what religion, history, soul, God, and salvation are. There is a need to nurture and propagate the spiritual and philosophical knowledge of the India. Some of this knowledge India, but at present all those fiction storybooks have now gone away. Like now no one falls on the stories of the Upanishad, Panchatantra, Tall or Metal Prachivi, Jataka stories, Hindustana Prakriti, Ayurveda, Sarat Chadra, Sanskrit Subhashya, Tenali Brahma stories, Sapti, etc. The Afghan India, including Pakistan and Bangladesh, has many ancient mysterious temples, pillars, palaces, and caves. Bamiyan, Bog, Ajanta Ellora, Elephanta and Bhimbetka caves, 12 Jyotirlingas, 51 Shaktipeeths, besides many archaeological sites, monuments, cities, palaces, etc. need to be preserved and their history should be written. For example, the pyramids and monuments of Egypt are constantly researched and the process of their preservation is also going on. Many research books are also being written on all this. Talking about the civilization of Indus, more ancient places have been discovered at present than Mergui, Harappa, Mohenjo-Daro, Shanhudaro, Lothal, Kalibangan, Surkotata, Rangpur and Ropar. Burzaham, Gufgrol, Chirand, Piklahul and Koldawa, Lothal, Koldawa, Mahagadha, Raichur, Avantika, Nasik, Daimabad, Barana, Bagpad, Salani, Rakagari, Bajor, Adamgar, Bhimbetka, etc. are hundreds of such places where new secrets of Indian history, religion, and culture have been opened by excavation. Archaeological remains recovered from these places show that 9000 BC Indian. In a social media post on Instagram, Gates expressed his honor at being part of the inaugural India Day celebrations at the Seattle Consulate. He acknowledged India's role as a global leader with innovations that are transforming lives and celebrated the collaborative efforts between the Indian government, private sector, philanthropists, nonprofits, and the Indian American community. Gates also shared photos from the event, where he was seen wearing a scarf in the colors of the Indian tricolor, alongside Prakash Gupta, the Consul General of India in Seattle, and other officials. Gates extended his best wishes on India's Independence Day, tagging Prime Minister Narendra Modi and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar in the post. The Seattle Consulate, in a post on X, expressed its gratitude to Gates for leading the India Day celebrations in the greater Seattle area. The consulate also acknowledged the participation of several distinguished guests, including Congresswomen Susan DelBene and Kim Schreier, Congressman Adam Smith, Washington Lieutenant Governor Denny Heck, and Washington Secretary of State Steve Hobbs. In addition, the mayors of Bellevue, Tacoma, Kent, Auburn, Renton, SeaTac, Snoqualmie, and Mercer Island joined the celebrations, showcasing their support for the Indian community. The India Day celebration in Seattle marked the first time that the greater Seattle area had hosted such an event. The theme of unity and diversity was reflected through floats and cultural performances that represented various Indian states and regions. The floats, organized by prominent leaders of the Indian American community, highlighted key aspects of India's rich cultural heritage, further strengthening ties between the Indian diaspora and the Pacific Northwest. In a special gesture, 5 separate official proclamations were issued by the governments and city councils of King County, Bellevue City, Washington, Portland, Oregon, Hillsboro, Oregon, and Tigard, Oregon, to honor the India Day celebrations. Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon also sent a congratulatory message on India's 78th Independence Day, recognizing India's achievements in education, healthcare, and economic development. He emphasized Wyoming's cultural and economic ties to India, noting that more than 10,000 Indian Americans live in the state. Governor Gordon also expressed enthusiasm for the opening of the new Indian consulate in Seattle and looked forward to deepening partnerships in trade, investment, tourism, education, and friendship. Iconic buildings in Seattle and Bellevue were lit up in the colors of the Indian tricolor to mark the occasion. Distinguished participants at the India Day celebrations included Lieutenant General Xavier Bryan, commander of America's First Corps in the Pacific Northwest, Rear Admiral Mark Zuccato, commander of the Navy region of the Northwest, Washington's Supreme Court Chief Justice Steve Gonzalez, and several other military and civic leaders. The newly established Indian consulate in Seattle, which became operational earlier this year, is India's sixth mission in the United States. It serves the states of Alaska, Idaho, Montana, Nebraska, North Dakota, Oregon, South Dakota, Washington, and Wyoming. The consulate's opening underscores the government of India's commitment to strengthening ties with the Pacific Northwest region. Leading the consulate is Prakash Gupta, a seasoned diplomat who has previously served in Beijing, Shanghai, New York, and Jakarta. India also maintains consulates in Atlanta, Chicago, Houston, New York, and San Francisco, further cementing its presence across the United States.